So this is Sur Adaa Aur Sheher, a Lucknow Kolkata connection, lecture by Anindya Banerjee. We are delighted to welcome Anindya Banerjee, a distinguished sarod maestro and scholar trained in the Senia Mahir tradition, whose work brings together rigorous classical practice and deep historical inquiry. Internationally recognized both for his mastery of the sarod and for reviving the rare instrument sursringar, he is today in India's only traditional performer.
Beyond performance, Anindya Banerjee engages closely with the social histories of Hindustani classical music, tracing the cultural circuits that link musicians, patrons, and audiences across Lucknow and Kolkata. His work explores courtly traditions, Tawaf culture, and the movement of music from intimate mehfils to public platforms, and even modern spaces. Through performance and dialogue, he invites us to listen to the city itself, where Sur and Ada carry memories of refinement, exchange, and continuity across time and peace. Thank you, sir. We're lovely to have you, and we can begin with your session now.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. With all your permission, I'll start my presentation. And I tried to do my research work, and I did my presentation. Hope you might like this presentation. But as many of you are sitting stones throw distance between myself and you are most welcome to throw stones to me at my presentation. Significant connections existed between Lucknow, that is Awadh, and Kolkata, Calcutta, before Wajid Ali Shah rooted in Mughal or Awadhi culture, trade and British colonial administration, but his arrival in 1856 solidified mini Lucknow and transformed these links, creating a mini Lucknow in Kolkata, is Metia Buruj by transplanting his court's arts, cuisine, and people, making him the defining figure for this city's cultural exchange. Pre-Wajid Ali Shah connections. British presence. Calcutta was the capital of British India, while Awadh, Lucknow was a powerful semi-autonomous princely state under certain British protection, leading to interactions between British officials and the Awadhi court. Trade and commerce. Both were major centers for trade, with goods and people moving between them through not on the scale Wajid Ali Shah brought. Cultural influence. Lucknow's refined Urdu, poetry, ghazals, music, that is Thumri, and dance, that is Kathak, already had influence across North India, including Bengal, but it was less concentrated. Wajid Ali Shah's impact post-1856. Forced migration. After the British annexed Awadh, Wajid Ali Shah was exiled to Metia Buruj, garden-rich Kolkata, bringing his entire court, chefs, artists, and thousands of followers. Cultural transplantations. He built grand buildings, imambaras, mosque, recreated Awadhi architecture, and introduced dum pakt cooking, biryani, Kathak dance, and Urdu poetry, turning Metia Buruj into Chota Lucknow, little or mini Lucknow. Legacy. This influx created a permanent cultural fusion, making Awadhi cuisine and culture a core part of Kolkata's identity, a legacy that continues through his descendants and cultural preservation efforts today. In essence, the connection was there, but Wajid Ali Shah superchanged it, making the Lucknow-Kolkata link a vibrant living culture rather than just a historical thread. Music at Metia Buruj. New York Times, 11th November 1874, wrote an article heading, "A Retired King." He spends his days in his menagerie, and in drawing, painting, and writing poetry. His songs are said to be excellent. According to the native, some which are called after his name, Hujrat Ki Thumri, are sung. I am told by dancing girls all over Calcutta, Benares, and many other of the principal towns of India. His Ex-Majesty's evenings are spent among musicians and dancing girls. One of his 4 principal houses, all of which are furnished in great style, is selected for the day, and there he passes the night. Calcutta, meanwhile, as ignorant of his pleasure and he of his as if he were still in Oudh. The king maintained a real town, providing them with the means of living, the little camp in its way, as esteemed peoples understand royalty. Abdul Halim Sarar wrote in his book Gujasta Lucknow, or Lucknow of Old. From the time of the king's arrival in Calcutta, a second Lucknow had arisen in its neighborhood. The real Lucknow had ended and was replaced by Metia Buruj. No one thought he was in Bengal. Let's hear Wajid Ali Khan. I mean, it's because from the film, what he been supposed to be called Tumri. So before, when he was leaving Lucknow, and this, so what he sang, and actually he composed this song, and what he sang this song. This is from Satyajit Ray's Satranj Ki Khiladi. Wajid Ali Shah's arrival in Calcutta and establishment of his court attached many such talents to Bengal, who helped in the spread of various styles of instrumental and vocal music in Bengal. The fact that the largest number of talents were employed in the court of Metia Buruj, and many of them became disciples here, led to the emergence of a new trend in musical practice, and his time was particularly conducive to a new awakening. Can you play the slides? Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Biryani. Because Wajid Ali Shah brought this biryani or introduced biryani in Calcutta. Now biryani has become a staple food in Calcutta, and not only that, the Bengali delicacy has converted into Lucknowi delicacies, because in every marriage, Bengali marriage you go, you will find they are serving biryani. So biryani is the most popular, and the children, if you ask them what you want to eat, they will say that we'll eat biryani instead of rice and dal or something else. So biryani has become this staple food, and that's why till today, even if you go to even yesterday's newspaper, you will find a news on biryani. So these are the paper cuttings on biryani, how it came to, is being published in Calcutta's newspapers. And recently, when Lucknow got the Heritage Award on the culinary system, a big session was held in one of the very famous Calcutta's Lucknowi restaurant named Oudh 1590. They organized a talk session and discussed about biryani and other cuisines of Lucknow. So that news was published in Telegraph, so which I put it on my slide. So this is how Lucknow biryani is still popular in Calcutta. Next slide. Well, see the impact of biryani. A gentleman who didn't get a job, he wanted to commit a suicide, so he climbed the famous Howrah Bridge, and he was not coming down until he was promised that he will be offered a job and a plate of biryani. So when he was offered that biryani, so he came down. So this is the impact of biryani. This is the contribution of Wajid Ali Shah, you can say in one word. Next. Lucknow sweets are also very popular in Calcutta. In certain parts of Calcutta, there are Lucknow sweet shops where you will get Lucknow sweets. This is the shop from North Calcutta in Fierce Lane. And the one shop is in Raja Bazar area. Okay. No, not now. Many of the artists who came to this Media Buruj, some until the end of their lives, some of their great of Bengal was sang and played instruments at the Metia Buruj court, such as Jadu Bhatto, Keshav Chandra Mitro, Next slide. Kaliprashanna Bandyopadhyay, Bamacharan Bandyopadhyay, Aghot Chakraborty, etc. The court singers and
या पतन गरी रे मन क्यों नहीं बात लगावत रे मन लगावत रे मन दवन गिरिजा काटी समान नहीं दितिया पुरे ब्रह्मयादि गुण गावत रे मन दवन गिरिजा हे मन काजी कहे नहीं से महादेव मन भावत रे मुक्ति प्रवाह बहे जहाँ गंगा सुर नर मुनि हर खावत रे कीट पतंग आदि नाना जीव सबकी मुक्ति करावत रे अंत समय शिव शंभु सदा शिव तारक मंत्र सुनावत रे आनंदवन गिरिजा
this Aghornath Chakraborty. He was a very famous Drupad singer. He was in Wajid Ali Shah's court. He also learnt in Wajid Ali Khan's court from Murad Ali Khan Drupadiya. And yeah. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah and the court have another memorable contribution to the world of Bengali music. His name is closely associated with the popularity of the Thumri style, which was the seat of the Lucknow court to Kolkata and was practiced in his Metiaburuj court. About 150 singers, musicians, dancers, etc. were regularly employed in his court on a regularly salary. The names of some of the singers and musicians of his court are found in a book written by him in 1875. The names of those musicians of his court are given in the book. They were employed in the Metiaburuj court before 1875, namely singers Ghulam Hussain Khan, Pyar Khan, Ali Bakhsh Khan, Inayat Khan, Fazl Imam, Haidar Khan, Ahmed Khan and Inayat Hussain Khan. Or Khaja Bakhsh tabla player, Nishad Ali Khan pakhwaz player, Ghulam Muhammad Kalun Nawaz sur kanun player, that means santur player. Here are the names of some other singers and musicians who came to Metiaburuj obtained from other sources are Punjab's Drupad and Khayal singer Mubarak Ali Khan, Rampur's Drupad singer Sadiq Ali Khan, Lucknow's Khayal singer Chote Mian, his wife tabla player Choti Bibi. Choti Bibi's son Babu Khan received training from his mother. Drupad and Khayal singer Radiatullah, Rabab player Qasim Ali, Basat Khan from Tansen's son's lineage. Some ancestors of tabla player Masjid Khan, father of Keramatullah Khan, the famous tabla player, were employed in Metiaburuj court. Shehnai player Pyare Khan, Drupad singer Murad Ali were also in the court for some time. Imam Badi, a companion of King of Kashi, was renowned vocal artist in Wajid Ali Shah's Metiaburuj court. Asadullah Khan, Kaukab Khan, Asadullah, whose nickname was Kaukab Khan, sarod player, had also known Metiaburuj fleetingly as a child. His father Niyamutullah Khan was attached to the court in the late 1860s, but then proceeded in the early 1870s to Kathmandu, Nepal, where he trained Kaukab and his brother Keramatullah Khan. Next slide, please. Okay, fine. Achha. Before that, I would like to play. First play the Keramatullah. Oh, or from here I have to play? Before you are going to play the next slide, I'd like to say a few words about Piara Sahib of Matia Buruj. Piara Sahib or Sahib Nizmatuddollah Abbas Hussain Khan was born in Lucknow in 1854 and was related to the royal family of Awadh. He was a highly popular early 20th century Indian male vocalist known for his recordings of ghazals, thumris and dadras on various levels like HMV. Colombia, etc., from around 1905 to 1910. Noted for his high-pitched voice and association with the court of Wajad Ali Shah, his recordings are particularly distinctive due to his singing in falsetto quality shared by a select number of contemporary male recording artists, including Anath Nath Bose, a famous tabla player and well-known Khyal Tappa and Thumri singer. Today, Piara Sahib is rightfully counted among the likes of Gahar Jan, Johrabai, Lalchand Boral, and Maujuddin Khan. Now, it is not known whether Piara Sahib had a female-like voice or falsetto voice, but he used to sing in falsetto voice. But there is another notion that at that time, all these courtesans or Baiji singers, they were so popular and so famous that even the males couldn't cope with them. So they started singing in that voice so to get popularity. So please play Piara Sahib. Not working. before playing Anantnath Bose. Anantnath Bose was basically a tabla player, but he was a singer too. He had 4 sons. All 4 sons are very good musicians. Those who know their name, who are the Calcuttans who are present here, are Shamul Bose, Kamal Bose, Govinda Bose, and Amar Bose. And his famous disciple in tabla was Pandit Shankar Ghosh. First guru of Pandit Shankar Ghosh was Anantnath Bose. He used to visit Metiaburuj court. It's not known whether he learned from Piara Sahib or he was, but probably he was influenced by Piara Sahib. So when he used to sing Khayal, Thungri, Khayal, he used to sing in male voice, and when he used to sing Thungri or any Bengali song and in female voice. This is an example of his female voice rendering. Can you play? Or I'll play. Okay. Popularization of Thumri. Wazidili Shah was used the pen name Akhtar Priya and was a gifted composer and is widely credited with giving Thumri a definite artistic form, enriching it with the rasa and bhava. His compositions such as the famous Bhairavi Thumri Babul Mora Naihar Chhutui Jai became immensely popular in Calcutta and beyond. This became a popular film song, notably sung by K.L. Saigal in the film Street Singer in 1937. This song was written by Wazir Ali Shah when he was leaving Lucknow for Calcutta on 12th March 1856.
नहीं
मेला मोरे दुनिया सजा मेरे मोरा अपना बेगाना सजा बापुला मोरा अंगना को पर्वत भया और तहरी भई बीते अंगना को पर्वत भया और तहरी भई बीते पाबुल घर आपनो मैं चली पिया के पाबुल मोरा नहीं हर छूट जाने पाबुल मोरा नहीं हर
Many Baijis, Tawaiffs or courtesans, artists did migrate from Lucknow and other North Indian cities like Benares to Kolkata in the 19th century, especially after the exile of Wajid Ali Shah, who established a vibrant cultural hub in Metia Buruj, attracting these performers and fostering Hindustani classical music and Kathak dance in Bengal. Because of the patronage of Wajid Ali Shah and wealthy Bengali elites known as Babus patronized these artists, providing them with patronage. Thus, Calcutta became a new center for Hindustani music, drawing performers, seeking audiences and opportunities. Famous Baijis like Nikki Bai, please next show. Slide. Famous Baijis like Nikki Bai, Hingun Bai, Malkajan Agrawali, Badi Malkajan and Gaurjan migrated and some settled in Calcutta, becoming influential. Next slide. Nikki Bai, Rohan's mother. No, no. Play for a minute at least.
मलका जान आगरा वाली.
Now, cultural icons. Baijis were considered authorities on etiquette, music and dance, consulting to the regional performing arts. They underwent rigorous training to master classes art forms and performed in elaborate gathering rooms called jalsagars, dancing halls or music rooms. The Babus of Bengal, impressed with Wajid Ali Shah's court, built their jalsagars where such programs were regularly held. As the rich Bengalis started extending their patronage to artists, the spin-off was the growth of hundreds of kothas or baijis across the city and the popularity of classical dance. This will depict through this film from Jalsagar. No, go ahead. Okay, not, yeah. Yeah, play, please. Before I play this slide, Begum Akhtar or Akhtari Bai came to Kolkata, then Calcutta, with her mother and guru Ustad Ata Muhammad Khan around 1927, possibly as early as age 11 or 12, to pursue musical opportunities, perform publicly, and act in early films, making her debut performance at a concert for Bihar earthquake relief in 1934 at Alfred Theatre in Calcutta. She also made her first recordings for HMB in Calcutta around 1924 and acted in films like King for a Day, Ek Din Ki Badshah in 1933, Nal Damayanti 1933, Roti 1942, and Jalsaghar 1958. She lived in Calcutta during this crucial formative period, establishing herself as a singer before later returning to Lucknow and becoming the legendary Malkai Ghazal, that is Queen of Ghazals. So please play this slide. transition to modern media, in the early 20th century, many Baijis became some of the first recording stars in the subcontinent. Figures like Gahorjan and Indubala transitioned from the traditional quota system to the modern theatre and film industries. Apart from Nikki Bai and Gahorjan, renowned Bengali Baijis like Harimati, Krishnabhamini and Indubala of their time, with some like Indubala later finding success in earlier cinema. We'll skip recording, but we'll show the slides because there is not much time. Next. Achha.
ऐसा नहीं बेटी, ठीक से बोलो। बोलो ठीक से।
Lucknow Kathak dance gharana. Wajid Ali Shah brought his court's rich artistic tradition, including Kathak dancers known as Baijis, while Britishers used to call them as Nautch girls. These performers staged mujras and mehfils, introducing the sophisticated Kathak dance and music to the Bengali elite, that is Babus and public, though it was often linked to courtesan culture initially. It was, next, you can show. It was Maharaja Thakur Prasad from whom the lineage of Lucknow Gharana Kathak started. His nephews Kalka Prasad, Binnadin Maharaj were Kathak legends and were in the court of Wajid Ali Shah in Metiapuruj for some time. Then again the three nephews of Binnadin Maharaj, Achan Maharaj, Lachu Maharaj and Shambhu Maharaj are renowned artists of the Gharana. Their names are synonymous with Kathak. In eastern India, particularly in Kolkata, the chief disciples of Lachu Maharaj and Shambhu Maharaj were Ram Narayan Mishra and Prahlad Das. Next slide. Chitresh Das, son of Prahlad Das, and Bachalal Mishra, son of Ram Narayan Mishra, honed their skills from Ram Narayan Mishra. Among the women students, next slide. Yeah. Among the women students, Bandana Sen, Maya Chatterjee, Srilaka Mukherjee and Anuradha Guho are eminent Kathak dancers. Legendary Kathak dancer Birju Maharaj of Lucknow Gharana almost made Kolkata his second home. His student Vijay Shankar was brought from Delhi to Kolkata and gave in new dimensions to Kathak dance. In the early part of the 18th century, Siddhar Khan of Delhi was a very talented tabla player. Popular tabla gharanas of present India, namely Lucknow, Benares, Farrukhabad and Ajrara, took shape from the descendants of Siddhar Khan. Wajid Ali Shah was a great connoisseur of music. Lucknow was then experiencing a rapid development of the Kathak dance and Thumri. The Nawab was looking for able tabla players to accompany dance and vocal music in his court. He came to know about Bakshu Khan and his brother Mauju Khan, great grandsons of Siddhar Khan. Eventually, both of them were invited by the Nawab to ornament his court as accompanist. Thus, the foundation of the Lucknow Gharana was laid in 1846 to 1857. The last Nawab, Wajid Ali Shah, was much more of a musician than a competent ruler. He happened to be a poet, lyricist, singer, dancer and percussionist and instrumentalist. During his tenure, Lucknow became the most important center for existence for Indian music. But unfortunately for Lucknow and fortunately for Kolkata, the British colonial imperialist government took over the domain and banished him to Kolkata in 1856. The Nawab settled in Kolkata and many of the musicians and dancers took courage to visit Kolkata from Lucknow under the patronage of exiled Nawab. Can you show the next slide? No. You can show this one. This is an example of Lucknow dance, little bit. were much more soloists than an accompanist. As a result, their disciples became less interested in accompaniment and occupied themselves with promoting solo tablas. The only exception is Swapan Chaudhary, an internationally renowned tabla artist who has proved his excellence both in solo and accompaniment. After Awadh came under British rule, Lucknow opened up new avenues for employment. Bengalis, being proficient in English, secured many jobs in administration and emerging sectors. Migrating from Kolkata to Lucknow, they entered in good numbers in various domains like education, health, judiciary, municipal services, and similar professions, even few businesses. Eminent Bengalis migrated and settled in Lucknow, where Chandrasekhar Mitra, Durgacharan Bandyopadhyay, Kalicharan Chattopadhyay, Madho Das, Atul Prasad Sen, Dhurjyoti Prasad Mukhopadhyay, Chinmoy Lahiri, eminent vocalists, etc. Lucknow hosts strong Bengali cultural groups like the Bengali Club that attract and retain community members through events like Durga Puja and Basant Utsav, fostering a sense of home. In essence, a combination of historical colonial opportunities, modern economic necessity, and establishment cultural connections drew Bengalis to Lucknow and over time. Next slide. My guru Ustad Ali Akbar Khan's first record was made in his early 20s, that is in 1940s for HMB in Lucknow. A key step in his bargoing career after intense training under Father Alauddin Khan. He recorded Ragas Darbari Kanara and Sri. Let's hear his first record, couple of minutes. See, this recording, he tuned his sarod into G scale because he thought if he tuned it to in some higher scale, and while playing, if my string breaks, then the recording will be foiled. So that's why he didn't take any chance, so he tuned his sarod into G scale. So this is an example of his early recording, first record, recorded in Lucknow. On an evening in 1935, as Sri Krishna Ratanjanka's mellifluous rendition of Khayal wafted across the residence of Lucknow University teacher, Professor Nirmal Kumar Siddhanto, a man taken over by the music sat through the performance even though he was running a high temperature. Next slide. Such was Rabindranath Tagore's love for music that whenever he was in Lucknow, he made sure that his guests arranged a session or even more of music. While Tagore's passion for music is well known, it is little known that the poet had turned to Lucknow to enrich his Vishwabharati musically. In 1929, he wrote to his friend Atul Prasad Sen that he would be happy to get a music teacher for his university from Pandit V.N. Bhatkhande. Tagore visited Lucknow 5 times between 1919 and 1935. During his sojourns here between 1914 and 1935, which was probably his last trip to the city, Tagore developed a bond that grew in all dimensions and went beyond his association with Atul Prasad. Apart from the special chemistry he started with Atul Prasad, Lucknow was here home to many of the poet's friends. Most of them were stalwarts in their fields, and some of them had taken up assignments with Lucknow University. They include painter Ashit Kumar Haldar, scholars Nirmal Kumar Siddhanto, Dhurjyoti Prasad, Ram Kumud, and Ram Kamal Mukherjee, and others helped to generate funds for Vishwabharati. Thus, I conclude the tale of two cities. Though Charles Dickens had no role to play, credit goes to his fellow Britishers to crystallizing this story. I hope these two cities continue to have a prosperous relationship of culture and economy even in the coming years. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone.
Sir, you've taken us on such an extraordinary journey today to hear all these pieces of music. I had my hair and my arms were standing on end. I could not imagine to hear music going back such a long way. Thank you so much for being an archivist and such a passionate preserver of music, and your passion and love for everything you do. We're very grateful to have you here with us. A round of applause, please, for Sir. We have time for just one question. I don't know whether anybody, I think we all sort of. Who better than you, sir?
I thought when you said that this last recording which you played of Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, there was a little, I'm just adding that at that time he was serving in the All India Radio Lucknow. That is when he made this recording. 1941. Yes, 41. And he stayed here. And once Alauddin Khan Sahab, after recording in, I think he used to come for his examination. Yes, he would come. He came unannounced and straight away went to his house and saw the name plate Ustad Ali Akbar Khan.
No, in the radio station, he got a job in the radio
Yes,
station. And in the radio station, in his room, it was written on
Ali
the door,
Ustad
Ali Akbar Khan.
Ustad. So that is what he said, you tell them. What Alauddin Khan told.
No, he didn't say at that time.
You have to tell that in the Bengal, East Bengali language.
Well, he didn't say at that time, but next time when he came back to Maihar to see his father, first he scolded with some bad names. Which is known as Khisti. I want to utter that language, things. And then said, তুই এত বড় উস্তাদ হয়ে গেছিস ইতনা বড় উস্তাদ আপ বন গয়া হ্যাঁ so he was very angry. Even your father is not even become ustad. How come you have become an ustad? So he became very angry, and he was about to beat him with his stick. And at that time Ali Akbar Khan Sahab was 21 or 22 years old. But he was very annoyed with that, reading that Ustad Ali Akbar Khan.
Alauddin Khan's anger was like that. Many a times it was really without any reason. Even that happened many a times.
I came with my Guruji to Lucknow a long time ago because he wanted to see around the present Lucknow.
Yes.
And he was telling us so many stories I cannot
He
share
was
because
asking me,
lots of time it will take.
He used to ask me many things suddenly that is such and such still alive. He was very bothered about who all were alive during his last 2-3 years.
He used to roam in his cycle, sarod on the left hand, one hand cycle handle, and tabla player sitting in the back, and tanpura player in between the handle and the seat. This was his days in Lucknow.
That was another.
Yes. Thank you.